Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage, and I have Mr. Todd Bookspan with me today. What's up, Todd?
I'm super excited to be back on Skype with you, Dave.
Yeah, no, it's fun. We've done a lot of calls together, a lot of leadership, in virtual communities. Second time on a Skype interview, and you crushed it, by the way. I'm already getting a lot of positive feedback on that annual review conversation we had.
Awesome. Love to hear that.
Good. Well, hey, today, everyone, it's about win by noon. To say I love this book is an understatement. And by the way, it's not a book, it's a journal. It's something, yes, there's things to read that, you can learn, you can learn how to use the book, but really it's about learning how to use this journal. So real quick, Todd, some things I love about it, and then I want to hear why you created it and how you think the mortgage coach community should be using it. I mean, first and foremost, I love the win by noon concept and the fact that what's most important, get it done by noon. I love the fact that Mortgage Coach is well represented in here. Whether it's annual reviews, you're very intentional about conversion rates. So this book is awesome. Every mortgage coach should have it. Todd, why don't we find out why you created it, and from your perspective, what is it?
Certainly, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it. I've been so blown away by the feedback. I'm really grateful for all the people who've purchased it so far and are giving me great feedback. The success stories have been just very, very exciting. But my belief is that we all want to be better. We all want to reach our potential. And as I transition, so for those who don't know, I'm a coach with Building Champions. I spent about 17 years as a loan originator, running a big team. The last couple of years we closed about 550 loans for about 115 million each year. And so I've been in your shoes prior to getting into the coaching seat, and I realized as I was talking to clients, and they were asking me how I structured my day, because everyone's super busy, right? We're all really busy, and I realized when I look backwards on it that I had inadvertently won by noon at that time, because we've all been there. We've all gotten to the end of our day woke up with great intentions. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or maybe didn't plan with great intentions. But either way, you get to the end of your day and you missed your greatest priorities, the biggest things, the most important goals of the day. You're at home now and you realize you didn't have time to do them because you were just busy reacting and putting out fires. And so really for me, the idea was rewinding back to where I saw my biggest success in my career, and also where I'm seeing clients with great success, people in other industries with great success, is really just having that intentionality, right? Planning ahead for the quarter, which is how the planner starts, planning ahead for the week, setting your intentions for the day, and then being focused specifically on whatever activities it are that you are going to think are the most important priorities for you in order to crush it. And then if you can get them done in the morning before you get distracted and start reacting, then you've won your day by noon. And more importantly, then you got the rest of the afternoon to go ahead and react and meet with clients and prospect for realtors and do all those other things.
Love it. Well, I know because I've interviewed so many of the nation's absolute most successful loan officers. And when I was looking at it, I was like, okay, first of all, plan quarterly, plan monthly, bring it down to, did you win the day? Did you win the week? You did it. Uh, the concept of what I talk to top producers, they're always talking about, they know their conversion rate. They know how many referrals and leads they get. They know how many they converted into loans. They know what their conversion rate is. You did it. So I want to do this because you and I launched this in our Insane Productivity Mastermind. By the way, anyone watching this, Todd and I, every Friday, 9 o'clock, we lead the Insane Productivity Mastermind with Mortgage Coach call. And that's all about time compression. That's all about productivity. And this now is a cornerstone to that. We're going to start talking a lot about how loan officers should be using this and can be using it. But let's talk about the questions that we've been getting. I've been getting a lot of questions on the conversion rate stuff. And we all know it's hard to implement stuff like this. What are you telling people when it comes to, getting up to speed and how they measure their conversion rate using the book?
It's really implementing it into your day, right? I mean, you gotta be tracking your leads, you gotta be tracking your applications, you gotta be tracking your pre-quals issued and your closings in order to have the data you need for the conversion rate. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but most people just don't have a way that they're really capturing it, and then they're not being intentional about the review process. And so, you're got to be doing weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual reviews to see how those conversion rates are going, because in the end, it's not necessarily that your business is the same as someone else's business, is the same as someone else's. Throughout the country, I see different conversion rates. In the same city, I see different conversion rates. On the same teams, I see different conversion rates based on who your clients are, who your referral sources are, whether you're getting online leads, whether you're getting leads handed up to you by a realtor. And so the number one thing is to know your own conversion rates, to see how you're doing today versus how you were doing a month ago versus how you were doing a year ago, because you should always be striving for improvement. You should always be striving to reach up higher. And so I loved it. We talked about your past client pull-through ratio on the annual client review call. That was huge, and it was great because since then I've had coaching calls with clients who have been coached by you on it, and now it's something that we're measuring, and I just love it.
Well, by the way, we need to. I officially request on this page right here that we put in the past customer pull-through rate.
All right, I'll make a note. All right. I am making suggestions. So that's the best part about this is the community has been awesome at saying, hey, I wish it did this, or I wish it had that. And so any of you who've gotten this and are watching, I would love your feedback.
Yeah. So by the way, everyone, we're so fortunate to have Todd as part of the Mortgage Coach community, and not just part of, a leader in the community. So if you have ideas, post them below. You're watching this in YouTube. There's a comment section. If you have ideas, post it. But I would love for you to post what your conversion rate is. Put that below. We would love to start talking about that, collecting that, being more intentional about that. If how you're spending, Todd calls it on time in his book, because that's the Building Champions term. In the Insane Productivity call, we call it jam sessions. But we would love to know how you're spending your jam sessions. So again, community, engage, click below. So Todd, a lot of people who are in the Mortgage Coach community have bought this book. And so I hope that everybody in the Mortgage Coach community buys this book. Check it out. Go to winbynoon.com. We will put a link to that below too. So in the description to this, the very top, here's where you go to Win by Noon. What advice would you give folks that they bought your book? Now what? What's the first half an hour? What's the first hour? What advice do you have for anyone that buys your journal for the first half hour, an hour?
No, I love that, right? So it's just using what we just talked about, on time / jam session. Read through the beginning, right? Look at the examples. I've tried to put real world examples in there that will hopefully resonate with you so that you can see how to fill out the forms. Feel free to reach out to me if you've got questions on that part. But ultimately, you got to put in the work ahead of time. You've got to do the planning. You got to spend time with it, and then you just have to make it. I said habit earlier. You got to carry it around with you. If you were going to be using it and it's in your backpack on the floor, not on your desk next to you, then you're not really going to probably use it effectively. You're not going to be marking out all the activities that you need to do in order to be a superstar, successful loan officer. And I know all the people listening here are successful. All I'm trying to do is help you guys just get a little bit further up the line towards that ultimate success that you're looking for.
Love it. So again, go to winbynoon.com if you don't even know what we're talking about. If you're part of the Insane Productivity Mastermind, we have a Facebook group. I actually took pictures of the first, 8 pages, so you can check that out there. Again, this is something I believe strongly in. I think this will be a success tool to help a mortgage coach be more effective, be more successful. I hope you take action on it. Todd, as we wrap this up, is there anything else you want to share to the mortgage coach community in today's Skype interview?
I'd probably throw 2 more things in there if you want to see kind of me walking through those first pages too. We did it in that call 2 weeks ago. Maybe you can throw the link down there for that one too, Dave. I sent it to a friend of mine last night who had some questions on it, and I think it's about 13 minutes and change. It's right after it went black. I think I made an error when you handed the computer over to me, but right after it goes black, then we actually go into about 15, 20 minutes on the planner itself and in some sort of how to use it. I think that would be really valuable. I left the Mortgage Coach, all one word, no space, code up for free shipping still. So my wife is an attorney, so probably disclaimer is if you're listening to this way in the future, then it's probably expired. But here we are in July of 2017, and it's still a valid code. So again, that's just Mortgage Coach. So happy to throw that out there to the Mortgage Coach community.
Okay, so reminder everybody, when you go to buy the book, You go there, put in the code Mortgage Coach, and you will save money. You won't have to pay for shipping. And then I will put a link to the recording of the Insane Productivity. When you're listening to that, realize that's a call that happens every Friday at 9 o'clock. If you just want to listen to the Insane Productivity part, to Todd's point, go to 20 minutes and listen to that. So if you and if you got value from this quick hit, we're like at 10 minutes now, like it, let us know that this was a valuable 10 minutes for you. Share this. The best thing you could do, if you're a manager, share it with your team. If you just don't have a team, share it with your mortgage friends. Hey, Todd, I appreciate your time. Appreciate everything you do in our community, brother.
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you guys listening.